Hi everybody, today we're going to be learning how to solve a system of equations algebraically. We've already learned how to do it graphically, but now we're going to do it algebraically because sometimes you will not have a graph to look at. So, how can you use algebra to solve a system of equations? Well, you can solve linear systems using an algebraic method called the substitution method. So you're going to go ahead and fill this in. And substitution method should sound familiar because we have used substitution when we have checked equations in the past to make sure solutions work. So hopefully the substitution method will be a little bit easier method for you to use and follow. The first step that we're going to do is that we are going to solve for one of the equations for one of the variables. In other words, we are going to try to see if we can either get the x or the y by itself and then substitute the value in for x or y based on what we got by itself. We're going to explain that as we go. It says, look at the following equations. Notice this equation right here. It says y equals 3x. Since y is equal to 3x, we can go ahead and substitute the y in the second equation with the 3x. Well, what does that mean? Well, here's my second equation. Notice I have a y. Well, now I know what y is. Y is actually 3x. So instead of the y, I can go ahead and substitute in that 3x value because the first equation tells me y is equal to 3x. So this second step is an outline for you. It says 2x plus, well, instead of y, we said we're going to substitute in the value of y, which is 3x. And that equals 15. Our next step is we combine our like terms. Well, is 2x and 3x like terms? Yes. They both have an x variable. So what's 2x plus 3x? 5x. We then go ahead and solve a one-step equation, dividing both sides by 5. And x is equal to 3. Not so bad, right? We now know that x has a value of 3. Excellent. So I have to go ahead and move this down. And we are going to go ahead with the next page of notes. Hold on. Sometimes it takes me a little while to do this. Okay. So now I know that that x value is equal to 3. It says once you have the x value, you can then replace the x in your equation with that value. Well, my equation, if you could recall, was y equals 3x. So I can go ahead now and substitute the value of x that I just got into that equation. Well, the value of x is 3. So let's substitute it in. What is 3 times 3? Well, it's 9. So guess what my value of y is? 9. And I would write that as the solution, 3 comma 9, because my x value is 3 and my y value is 9. Now it says check. Does your solution work? Well, if this solution is truly the solution to this system, it should work in both equations. So let's look at our first equation. I'm going to do this in red to make it stand out a little bit. I have y equals 3x. Well, my y value is 9. My x value is 3. So when I fill that in, does 9 equal 9? Well, you bet it does, so that solution works. Let's go ahead and try the second equation, which was 2x plus y equals 15. Well, if I go ahead and substitute the value of 3 in for x, it would be 2 times 3 plus my y value, which I just found out was 9. Does that equal 15? 2 times 3 is 6. And guess what? 6 plus 9 equals 15. Check. It works. So that is the solution to that system of equations. And what's awesome is I didn't even graph it, and I still was able to find where those 2 points would cross if I did graph that system. Let's go on and take a look at another problem. It says, find the solution to the following equations. Y equals x plus 3 and 2x plus 2y equals 38. Well, what do we know? Did we get one of the letters by itself? Well, it looks like the y is by itself. Here it is. Oops, sorry about that. Here it is. Y is actually equal to x plus 3, that expression. So, in the second equation, 2x plus 2y equals 38, I can substitute x plus 3 in for y. in that equation. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like. I have the original equation here. I know my y value is x plus 3. So I just copy down the 2x. I add it to 2 times the y value. Well, my y value, according to up here, is x plus 3. So I substitute it in for y, and that equals 38. Now you guys all know how to do this. I'm distributing a 2 to each of the values inside the parentheses. I get 2x plus 2 times x is 2x plus 2 times 3 is 6 equals 38. I then combine my like terms on the same side. 2x's plus 2x's, I'm going to rewrite it up here, is 4x's. I still have a plus 6, and I still have an equals 38. I then subtract 6 from both sides because I have to get x by itself. I get 4x equals 32. Divide both sides by 4. X equals 4 times 8 is 32. So guess what my, my x value is? It's 8. Now, let's take a look at finding the y value. First thing I do is this. I know I have my x value of 8. I go ahead and I look at my 2 equations. Here they are. Which one looks easier to work with? Well, hopefully you're saying the first one. The second one's got a lot of coefficients going on. The first one doesn't. So I'm going to choose the first equation to substitute x into it. So I have y equals x plus 3. Well, guess what? I know what x is. It's 8. So all I do is substitute it in. So my y value is 11. So guess what? My solution to this problem is 8, 11. Bam. There it is. You could go ahead and check that to make sure it works into both equations. And if it does, guess what? That is definitely a solution. I'm going to tell you for time's sake, I am not doing that. So we are all set with that problem. I know it says check, but I'm not going to do that for you because I just don't have the time in the video. You can go ahead and check it if you would like. Let's look at a word problem. Whew, it's going to be a lot. So let's look at this one. It says, Mr. Thompson is buying 2 types of gift cards to give as prizes to employees at a company meeting. He will buy restaurant gift cards that each cost $50. He will also buy movie theater gift cards that each cost $20. A lot of information going on. He has $450 to buy a total of 15 gift cards. How many of each type of gift card can Mr. Thompson buy? Well, I've got a lot of information going on. What it looks like is, I know that restaurant gift cards cost $50. I know, we change colors here, that movie theater gift cards cost $20. I only have $450 to spend. So let's just start with that first equation to see what it would look like. Because I need to solve a system of equation to solve this word problem. I'm going to write a let statement. Let R equal the number of what? Restaurant gift cards. So it's going to equal restaurant, I'm going to abbreviate, gift cards. And then I have movie theater cards. So I'm going to say let M equal movie cards. That should be enough. Beautiful. So let's go ahead and write a system. The first equation, I'm only going to look at the cost. Well, do you see a number that describes the restaurant gift cards? I kind of highlighted it up here for you. And the number that describes the restaurant gift cards is that they each cost $50. So that $50 is going to go with my variable R because it tells me how much each gift card costs. So I have 50R. Now I need to look at my movie theater gift cards because I'm purchasing those as well. Those cost $20. So the $20 describes the movie theater gift cards because it's the cost of each one. And I'm adding that to what I'm purchasing in restaurant gift cards. So I'm buying movie gift cards that cost $20 each. How much money do I have to spend? Only $450. So whatever I buy in restaurant gift cards plus the movie gift cards will equal the total amount of money I have to spend. So there you go. You've already written one of your equations. Well, it's a system, so that means I need to actually write two of them. So here we go. The second equation. The second equation I'm dealing with just tells me the total number of cards I can buy. Well, right here, it tells me I can buy a total of 15 gift cards. So that means if I buy a certain number of restaurant cards and I add that to a certain number of movie cards, that's going to give me a total of 15 cards that I can purchase. Well, there it is, a system of equations. Awesome. Now I need to solve it to find out how many restaurant and how many movie cards I can buy. Which equation does it look like it's easier to get one by itself, one of the variables? Well, to me, this one looks easier because I don't see any coefficients. So I'm going to go ahead down here below and I'm going to write r plus m equals 15. I'm going to choose to get the m by itself. You could choose either one. I'm choosing the m. So the first thing I'm doing is subtracting r from both sides. I have m equals negative r plus 15. That looks like it's in y equals mx plus b form. If it's in y equals mx plus b form, then I must already know the value of m, and it is this expression here, negative r plus 15. So let's go ahead to our original problem and substitute that value in for m. I have 50r plus 20, but now I don't have to write m anymore. I know what m is. Here it is. It's negative r plus 15. And that still equals $450 that I have to spend. Oh, that's an ugly O. There you go. So I have to distribute. This 50R I didn't touch. I didn't change it. A positive times a negative is a negative. 20 times R is 20R. 20 times 15. If you don't know what 20 times 15 is, what is 20 times 15? Hold on. 300? 20 times 15 is 300, my daughter tells me. Shout out to her. Thank you, Grace. And there's my equation. Well, can I combine 50 R's minus 20 R's? You bet I can. I get 30 R's. Plus 300 equals 450. I go ahead and subtract 300 from both sides. You're going to have to help me again, Grace. I get 30R. Oh, gee, this isn't writing well. R equals 150. So if I divide both sides by 30, guess what I get? R equals 5. Whoop, whoop. Keep that on your paper somewhere, because now I'm substituting this value in to my other equation to see what m is. Well, which equation looks easier to work with, this one or this one? Well, gee, r plus m looks a lot easier to me. So over here, I have r plus m equals 15. Well, I know that r is equal to 5. This was what told me. So 5 plus m equals 15. I subtract 5 on both sides. Some of you don't even have to do that. It's easy to see it. And I get 10. There it is. Which one is it? M is movie, so 10 movie theater gift cards. R is restaurant, so 5 restaurant.